out of here. Ride the jump out of here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to In the Chute with Dale Brisby. Today you're going to get a chance to hear from the greatest bull rider of all time. Also, we're going to talk to Cody Custer. He's going to be going over a little bit over your equipment, also chute procedure. Somebody's going to get on a bull. Cody, I'm going to let you take it from here. We're going to start with the bull rope, of course.
Well, the bull rope, this is probably as important as anything.
More important than having your glove clean?
Get that thing cleaned off, and I'll show you here in a minute. The bull rope is pretty much your lifeline to riding bulls. The main thing with your bull rope is keep that thing in good condition. Your rope starts breaking down and starts turning over, you need to get a new rope. I'm going to just go over the parts of the bull rope here and just kind of show you the importance of each part of the rope. Okay, we'll start out with the handle. The handle of the rope. This rope right here is a full leather lace. I wasn't a fan of full leather lace just because I had some wrist problems. So if you got wrist problems or you don't want wrist problems, you might want to go with a half leather lace and then a skip lace, so it has a little bit of give as you're riding. But the main thing you want to do is make sure this thing, as you get a hold of it and you turn it up, it tightens up and gives you some stability so that you don't go all the way forward and the rope turn over and get you in a bind. So the handle is real important. This is called the block. If you guys notice, this block's not a big thick one, it's not real thin. It's going to pull down on the bull's back, which gives the handhold also some stability. You go into the body of the rope. This is where we tie the loop in the rope. I'll come back to that. The tail of the rope, you got the wear strip here, just where the rope pulls. I always like to have this parachute cord in my ropes. Some guys don't do it that way, but that's where your rope's going to break down first. The tail of your rope, some guys like a wide tail, some guys like a narrow tail. It's all preference. A lot of this stuff in bull riding is really your preference. Not every person's exactly the same. Everybody's individual, so whatever you like, you need to just experiment a little bit with it and get to know your rope.
Like for me, I can go 90 in a flank rope, and I don't always need a bull rope, but I'll have one. I'll use one just to make other guys not feel incompetent. My wrist is strong enough for, well, I'll just let you keep going.
Guys like us appreciate you. So the main thing is just make sure it's something you're comfortable with, something that you can hang on to and doesn't hurt your hand while you're riding with it. The body of the rope, when we tie the loop in the rope, you want to stretch this thing out and make sure everything's straight. Everything's straight. The way I used to do it, and there's some guys that don't do it this way, but this is just the way I did it. I'd go across, over the top, back through itself, and then back over the top of it, and then you pull it down like this. Make sure that when you pull it down tight, it's snug, it's a knot. You can actually, what we call a slip knot, if you're not paying attention, it can turn into a slip knot, and that thing will slide down. You'll never be able to get it tight. So just be careful of that. Got a little bit of confusion here. Pull it back through itself if it is in a slip knot, and just make sure it ties into a knot. Okay, this knot's adjustable. If the rope's too long for the bull, you make the loop bigger, which shortens the rope up, and vice versa the other way. So that's your rope. Just remember, your rope is part of your success. If you keep a good rope in your hand. I rode with the rope for about 40 head of bulls and got me a new rope. It's a cheap investment to keep a good rope in your hand. Some guys go a little bit longer, but that's a preference deal as well. Just don't ride with one that's breaking down and getting you in a bind.
So that's about all we're going to cover right now for equipment, mainly because I already know everything there is to know about bull riding, but also because you can learn the rest at one of Cody's school. Visit codycuster.com or click the link in the bio below. Right now we're going to run a bull in here and talk about chute procedure. Hold, son.
All right, guys. On your chute procedure, when you're approaching the bull, first thing you want to do is if you ride left-handed with the conventional American-style rope, you'll drop the bells on the right-hand side, and vice versa. If you ride right-handed, you drop them on the left-hand side. With much of the population going with Brazilian ropes, it's just the opposite for Brazilian style rope. So Dale's going to drop his. We're actually going to do. I'm going to hook it from the outside, so he's going to drop his tail on the back side, and I'll hook it from outside here in the arena.
Bells in the front, old son.
Okay, guys, when you get to this point, what you want to do is you want to pick it up on both sides so that you see there's no twists in the rope, and then you just slide it through the loop of the rope, and then at this point, go ahead and spin it around, Dale, where we can measure it and see where it's at. So at this point, go ahead and pull it up, Dale. You can see. Okay, if you guys can see right here, Dale's into his wear strip, so he's going to have to shorten his rope up a little bit. So remember we talked earlier about if you need your rope shortened up, you're going to make your loop bigger. If you notice how he laid his bells across the bull's back, that just keeps it from falling down on one side or the other. This bull's kind of small, so we're probably going to be up in our wear strip a little bit on this one. But
yeah, I was coming from one of them big money added bull buckings, big old Bramer. I probably went 90, spurred him in the neck. I don't even remember.
Needed that big rope at that day, didn't you? Okay, so now we're going to pull it up and we're just going to check it, okay? That's going to ride that bull. You're going to be into his rosin, where you can take the rosin through your hand, and then when you take your wrap, you'll have rosin back in it. At this point, you just loosen it off, lay it straight across the top of the handle, and tuck it down in between the rope there on the side. And then at this point, he's ready to ride, so he's going to slide up out of here. We didn't talk a little bit about when you're sliding in there on the bull, you're either in or you're out of the buck and chute. The in between is kind of when somebody gets hurt. So you're either down all the way down in there on him, or you're up quick. So go ahead and jump out of there, Dale. Show them how to. There you go. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. You just got to take care of yourself. In the sport of bull riding, there's all kinds of things that can happen, and if you're not taking care of yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice. So take care of yourself, pay attention to what's going on. This bull right here is pretty casual, but I'm going to show you guys how to give a proper spot if a bull's jumping and kicking in there. I see a lot of places where guys are doing it wrong, where it's not going to be the best help of the guy that's down in the chute. So if I'm getting on a bull, I'm going to have somebody that knows how to spot me, get a hold of me, that I can trust to hang on to me if the action gets too wild. You notice Dale's taping his glove on. That's something I really believe in, taping it on just so your rope doesn't wad up in your hand and cause you to get a bubble in there and hang up if you buck off away from your hand.
I'm just so strong, I keep ripping it.
We don't have a rope puller, do we? I'm gonna slide right over here. All right, here's a proper way to spot somebody. If a bull's kind of wild in there, you want to grab the guy kind of by the chest. I usually grab down below the Velcro of the vest. If you get a hold up here, that Velcro can pull away. So get a hold down below the Velcro and then hang on. With your other hand, you get a hold of the back of the chute here, so you got some leverage. This bull really starts jumping and kicking. I got some leverage to hang on to Dale and keep him from getting smacked up in the front of the buck and chute. So now when you're in there, remember, Dale, you're in charge. You let everybody know you're in charge. Guys, you got to take charge in here. Tell your rope puller to pull.
Pull
and
on
then
that.
I got her pulled up.
Yeah.
And then when it comes time,
okay,
tell him slack. You see how he bounced that? He bounced his hand against that tail. Sometimes that just tells your rope puller that you want something done. Okay, notice where he's placing his hand. There's a natural break in the bull's shoulders where the end of the muscle comes. That's where your rope's going to end up riding. I see a lot of guys run their rope way up and then pull a bunch of hide out, and it just kind of takes time. And if you got a bull that's really ouchy in there, then he's gonna get wild in the chute. So what I always would do is just run it right in front of the break of that shoulder, or the break of those muscles. And then just, for me, I ran it a little bit off to the side, to the left. Some guys run it right in the middle. It's kind of a preference. You got to find out what works best for you. Okay, at this point,
all right,
I'm
go
gonna,
ahead and pull a little bit.
Dale, I like to shut my hand on it. This is just me. I like to shut my hand on it just so it didn't squeeze my hand and make my hand sore. So I got it in a comfortable position where I'm going to hang on to the rope. So I got a hold of it where I'm going to ride it. Okay, so we got quite a bit of slack pulled out of there. Go ahead and pull it back to you, Dale. That just comes back a little bit, and as it does that, it's going to loosen up a little bit. So for me, I'd take a little bit more, and then reach across, take it and run it cross through your hand. Shut your hand on it. Remember to figure out while your rope's on the fence what feels the most comfortable to you. Some guys twist it, some guys just run it straight through. You decide for yourself what's going to work the best for you. At this point, everything's ready. He's going to ask the flank man if he's ready, the gate man. Just kind of pay attention to, what's going on, and just make sure everybody's watching you, because you're in charge here, okay? At this point, I'd slide my feet forward just a little bit in front of my rope. Even a little further than that is where I would do it, Dale. And the reason for that is when I slide my rope, my knees are going to be in the bull's shoulder in front of my hips, and I don't have to do any adjusting with my feet. If you slide up there with your feet back, then you got to adjust things. This way, if one's kind of wild in there, you can slide up there, and you're going to be in the exact right position to drop your legs and go. When you slide up to the rope, just straighten your back, and remember this. The bull is going to turn out of the chute, but he's going to take a jump. Riding the jump into the turn is more important than the turn, because if you're worried about the turn, you're setting yourself up for the second jump to get you in trouble. So you ride the jump out of here into the turn, and then at the bottom of that first jump, then you're set up for the second jump. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they got to go forward before they turn.
Exactly.
Yeah, to turn, they've got to go.
They're gonna turn, and they're gonna jump up. So you got to ride a jump before the whole turn.
Correct. I'm gonna just go truck and trailer, old son.
Ride the buck out of here. Ride the jump out of here. For Brisbane.
That's what this is, old son. Get him out of here. Run me something in here that'll buck. Woo! That bull's name suits him well. His name's Underdog. He never had a chance. Formerly a 23-point bucker, and so he went out to the left, but then away from my hand back to the right. So what I did, I kind of get off into my hand just to let that bull feel like he's got a little bit of a chance. You ever pulled that move on him?
Yeah, it didn't usually work very good for me.
Yeah, it works real good for me, like it just did, old son. Would you like to break down my ride?
That looked pretty good. He had you in trouble, and then he stopped.
Again, on purpose.
And then he stopped.
That was a 23-point bucker. Get him out of here. I'd like to thank my bullfighters.
CodyCuster.com.
CodyCuster.com, that's the website. Cody, when they get there, you're going to break down their ride for them, right? You're going to look at all aspects of bull riding.
Yes, sir. I love bull riding. This has been my life, and really all I have left is to give back to the youth. So I'm doing these schools to try to help the youth, and from what I've seen the last few events I've been to, the future of bull riding looks pretty good to me.